It's live.
We are live.
We are live. And it's pulling up now. I see us there.
Okay.
We are there. We are live. Give us a minute. Okay, gentlemen, we are just about to get started here, but I am going to do this while people are waiting.
Look at my free washi tape I got a long time ago.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Right.
Well, let's go ahead and get started here with our podcast. We got the man Gino Luke in the building.
Hey, everybody.
We got the man Cole in the building.
How's it going, everybody?
Of course, I am the Space Cowboy. And we're going to get started. We got a couple of things to talk about. Hopefully, we'll have some fun with it too. First thing I want to talk about was, what did I want to talk about first? See, I already forgot.
See, there's so many good things, on a list.
Maybe we should start with James Earl Jones.
Oh, that is a hot topic.
45 years doing the voice of Darth Vader.
Man, think about that. Okay, since the beginning, he basically owned the role with that voice. When you think about that,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yep. Giving up his rights to AI. How do you feel about that, Cole?
That's a terrible, terrible decision. You can't replace James Earl Jones.
I feeling the same way, but I guess his work or the work that we thought that was his voice, and the last Star Wars online streaming thing. What was he in? He was just in the Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was not his voice. That was not his voice. That was all AI.
That's insane.
How do you feel about it?
That's crazy.
I wasn't expecting that, but reports are saying it was all AI. They're waiting to break the news. He said you could say it was me, so Star Wars fans won't get turned off. But they're waiting to break the news, and he has officially signed over his rights to be used in that way. But yeah, it was all used. It was all an AI algorithm generated to use Jones's voice.
Okay, that is insane.
What's funny is if I had known that beforehand, many fans and me in there would have been like, it doesn't sound right. That it's not him. You can tell. I had no clue.
You're exactly right. I was thinking the same thing because I would have been like, that's not his voice. You know it. But obviously, we are all wrong, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary that they can replicate it that accurate, though.
Yeah.
That's what I knew. I knew they were going to get computer technology to do his voice because I was like, that voice is just too good. You can't let it go. You can't replace it,
Mm-hmm. So then the question is, will they do it for the new Mufasa movie?
Man, that's a tough one. I say yes. Okay, here's why. Because fans and Disney as a whole, they want to get as many retention as possible of the old school people, of everybody, of new fans, old fans, if they just play it safe and keep it right to the voice. But look at the new they changed Lightyear's voice, and they got away with it. But at the same time, you're kind of like, that's a special voice right there,
It is. So, Cole, what do you think? Will he reprise his role for the new Mufasa, or now is it AI? According to this news that just dropped, I think it was just today.
I think it depends on what they want to do and what he wants to do. Because if he's feeling like, you know what, I'm done voice acting, I just want to retire and just relax. I've made my money, I'm done. But if he's like, no, I still want to, put myself out there, do new stuff, then I think they should let him, if he wants to, they should let him do the voice. But if he's like, no, I'm fine, then I think it's totally cool that they use AI.
Yeah, I agree with you. If he's willing to do whatever, he's 91 years old. He doesn't need to anymore.
Man.
Right? I mean, when you're 91, you just want to be sitting on a porch, just relaxing. I don't know.
91, and you did the voice all the way up to this point. That's amazing. That is amazing.
What's wild though is like, what's the potential? Like after he dies, they can still use his voice for new stuff, which is crazy to me.
Do you know how creepy that could get?
To like Leia, Princess Leia. You know, are they going to continue to use her in the CGI format?
So I guess my question is, how would they be able to get that if she didn't sign over the rights to it? Would her state have a say? Or is it one of those things where after 10 years they could do whatever? And what's to stop that from happening with any of these old actors? I remember several years ago them talk about putting Marilyn Monroe back in the movie, and that's just weird. Using all CG, like I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
See, yeah, it's getting crazier and crazier. Like, because then where do you draw the line? You know what I'm saying? Because like, what was it, Luke? They put him in there, and that was all CGI. I was like, what? No, what is going on right now?
Well, it's a weird thing because that's all like very new technology. So like this is all like the first time any of this has ever happened. So it's crazy. So like he probably signed the rights over to that. So after he passes, they won't have to go through the whole legal system, through all those hoops. He's probably thinking, this is what I want to be done, just give it to them so they don't have to fight with it afterwards. But here's my question is, if it's AI, does he still get the paycheck for it? Because it's his voice. Is he still getting paid?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like in the future, will like his family get the money if they use his voice? Like that's what I want to know.
See, I'm sure there's a deal, and there's probably some deal in the works about that.
Yeah.
But see, my question,
it's not Disney that owns his voice right now, right? It's this Ukrainian company. If I pull up the New York Post ad, it's a Ukrainian AI company. So it's not even that they are owned by Disney. So now is it Disney now pays this company who also gives extra money or residuals to his estate or him?
That's crazy.
Or did he sell all rights? It doesn't actually say what they could do exactly in the post.
Yeah. That's wild. And does this company just like go on a spree trying to buy as many rights to these voices of older actors as they can so they can keep using their voices and likeness in forever, basically?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, like, what's to stop them right now from making ads just using his voice now?
Nothing, it sounds like.
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader can now be the spokesman for Windex and Pepsi and
Can you see Darth Vader doing a Pepsi commercial?
Toys and stuff. Toys.
Oh, toys. I mean, they're going to make bank just with one person. So imagine if they get multiple people.
Just like go after some of the iconic voices. Like
join the dark side.
Okay, Gino. So if you own this company, what iconic voices would you go after?
People that are still alive or that are no longer alive.
It's up to you.
Okay.
What
I mean-
voices do you want? That sounds creepy, but what voices do you want?
Well, from a strategical aspect, I'd probably go to the top. I'd probably go Michael Jackson, members of the Beatles, Elvis. You know, if it was me, I'd say we're going straight there. But from my own creative perspective, I want like Arnold Schwarzenegger's voice. I definitely want Samuel L. Jackson's voice. I'd want maybe Bruce Willis. You know, I want guys like that I've seen in a lot of movies that are pretty cool. That I think it'd be pretty cool to have their voice.
Yeah. Who you got, Cole?
Yeah, a lot of the same ones, but the one I was thinking of was like Morgan Freeman. That one, he could use his voice forever.
Man.
They would know it.
Mm-hmm.
They would know it in a heartbeat.
They know that voice. I'd even say Heath Ledger. That would be a good one to get.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger, his voice. Man. Cool.
Start doing more Batmans.
Hey, CGI, AI, you know.
They can do everything. Pretty soon we're going to be so confused. Am I watching a live action movie or am I watching basically cartoons, right? It's all animated, so
That's insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah, at what point do they not even need human actors anymore? That's insane.
Man, that's oof.
I mean, and with that, exactly what you're saying, Cole, is now they can make movies where, you know, actors would have got hurt doing the stunts, right? Does that mean they no longer have to pay these actors, pay the stunt people? They're already doing the CGI for it, so it's not that much extra work to go ahead and do the stunts.
See, and that's the thing why Jackie Chan has so much respect, because he did all his own stunts. He used to be a stunt man before he was in his movies. And he says, when I get to be the star of my movies, I'm going to do all my own stunts. And
yeah, he had a concussion through one of his movies.
He had a concussion. Man. Yeah, Jackie Chan, man, he had some crazy. I seen him do one where he can run up of the wall, you know, just no ladder, no nothing. He just going between two walls, just running up it. You know, I said, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's like Tom Cruise. Have you seen those things where he did the internet's most asked questions, and they're like, "Can he actually do all these things?" And he's like, "Yeah, I can do all this." Like he can fly up airplanes, helicopters, hold his breath for 3 minutes, all that stuff.
Man,
crazy.
See, that's another one. Tom Cruise, he can do a lot of his own stunts, you know. That's the thing, because you think about that, like jumping out of a plane, you know, that's like, takes a lot of courage, a lot of training, a lot of preparation to be able to do some of that stuff, or like hang off the side of a building, you know. It's like, that's terrifying, like for the average person to do it, but with enough training, enough preparation, you'd be able to do something like that. But not me, just hanging outside of a skyscraper.
No, you can do it, G. You just have to do 100 push-ups every day, 100 sit-ups. I forgot the whole regiment, but you just gotta become One Punch Man basically and do all his exercises.
And that's all it takes is one punch.
Well, I know we got some other things on the docket. Go ahead, Gino. What else you want to talk about?
Okay, so now this show isn't Maury, but we just got the results back in from the cookie contest. Okay, so we asked the friends, we say, hey man, what is your favorite cookie that you would like to eat? And many people, okay, so the choices were oatmeal raisin, sugar cookie, and white macadamia nut, and of course, chocolate chip. And, you know, just like Maury, okay, the results were in, and it was chocolate chip blew them out of the water, just as I predicted. The chocolate chip cookie is renowned. It's feared. It's got a reputation that long precedes all the rest. and it continues to be the favorite. Why is that?
It's that classic, right?
It's a classic. It's not complicated. It's always there.
Well, can you think of when have you ever had a bad chocolate chip cookie?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I've had them.
I've had a bad chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah, I've had a bad. See, I'm more like into oatmeal raisin or a soft baked white macadamia nut. But that chocolate chip cookie, man, people get hooked on that. It's soft. You get a soft baked one. Oh man, with some milk. Oh man, it's over. It's over. It's over.
But that one time you get that hard chocolate chip cookie that almost breaks your tooth.
With the like extra big chocolate chips in it too, that are like rock hard.
That's the thing. I just
and they have to like suck on it just to soften it up a little bit.
That's a really good point you guys are bringing up. Does that make the difference the way the cookie is baked? Is it better as a soft bake, or does it matter if the ingredients are good enough? Is it just the cookie itself, or is it the way it was baked?
I like soft cookies. At least, not like, you know, it just falls apart in your hand. It has to hold up to itself, but you know, as soon as you bite it, it has to kind of melt in your mouth a little bit.
Yeah,
right there.
There's that window after it's come out of the oven where it's like just firm enough, but not too firm, where it's like the perfect balance. That's when the chocolate chip cookie, that's what gets it like number one for me, is those ones, those moments.
So like when you go to the State Dairy thing, if you get the Sweet Martha cookies, you have to eat those on site. If you take those home a day later, I'm not about that.
Okay, on site. Okay, that's
on site.
So there's
on site. Go to the milk part. You get your milk, unlimited milk, and your chocolate chips, and you just have a awesome time and a horrible time because you know you should not have ate 30 chocolate chips in one sitting. There's no reason for it.
See, okay, so we're coming to a scientific understanding that there is a window of opportunity for the cookie to eat it as to reach its best tasting potential is in that window. So now that's the thing, because when cookies arrive, people are into it. Like, that's what I was going to reference is Sweet Martha's cookies. There's now other cookie brands that are on the rise that are becoming more popular, that are becoming a craze, that are sweeping the internet. One of them is named Cheryl's. And these cookies are very different than the cookies that you would normally see. They have some weird flavors. I don't want to say weird, but different than you would normally see. Kind of like, so one of them was like pumpkin spice latte. One of them was caramel crunch, just like really strange flavors. And so someone brought some of them into work. And so I said, hey, I'd like to try one. And they were phenomenal, you know. And so the cookie, the cookie craze is intensifying. It's sweeping the internet. So now, maybe in the next few months, you're going to see more and more cookies on the rise. And that's coming to you here from Gino.
Cookies on the rise. Okay, G.
Cookies are on the rise. Be ready.
That's a crumble cookie. That
crumble cookie.
Okay, that's another one. Crumble cookie.
But
crumble cookie is legit.
The cookies can almost be too much sometimes, though.
Wow,
that's true.
They are really good. But then that brings me, why chocolate chip cookies? Sometimes you want cookies, right?
Yeah.
But you don't want to go through all the work of adding, macadamia nuts, raisins, because you don't have those in the house all the time. But you have that bag of chocolate chips that's been sitting in the cabinet for like a year and a half that you're like, I should probably use this. So you usually have all the stuff for chocolate chip cookies right there in your house.
See, and yeah, that's a very, very good point.
Actually, Cole, you just remind me. We have some chocolate chips in the cabinet now that we haven't touched.
See?
I didn't even think
Because
about it. You're
it's a-
100% right, though.
But that's where the competition of like crumble cookie and things like that come in, because now you don't even have to bake the cookie, but you don't have to go to a gas station to get a questionable cookie either. You can go to these places, get a nice, good cookie that's fresh in a couple minutes.
Okay. So now, Cole, that's what I asked you. So you say the convenience is better than, say, if we had to go a little bit further out. Say if we had to go maybe 20 minutes out to get a really good cookie. You would prefer the convenience of getting a good chocolate chip that you can just maybe bake it in a couple minutes or warm it up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because that was another one I was going to bring up, because you have some of these cookies that are questionable, like Subway cookies. I usually can trust those. Gas station cookies, now that's getting into the questionable arena. That there is an arena of those cookies that, there's an old saying that goes, if you go into a gas station and if the donut's already moving, then you don't eat it.
Yeah. I used to love going to the gas station picking up donuts. And someone's like, you got to pay attention to how many flies are in there.
Oh, don't ruin it for me, Maurice.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
I'll pick you up some donuts later. The ones like right before they toss them out.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. I was say, hey, man, bring those over here, man. Come on now. Stop playing. You going to throw those out? Oh, no, come on. Go this way.
Hey, though, Gino, have you ever tried crumble cookie?
I have never tried crumble cookie, but I would be down. I am down to try crumble.
So they're not open on Sundays because they're getting ready for the next set of cookies. They change their cookies every week.
Man.
So tomorrow, I think it's around 5:00 or 4 or something like that. They drop what their cookie list is.
Okay.
So I'm going to send that to you.
So we're going to post this, y'all. Okay. So when they drop the list, we're going to make sure that everybody knows what's going on with the cookie quest, with what's going on in the cookie current events, that are going on right now, because this is going to be a big thing. Cookie craze. Cookies are on the rise,
So like this week or this last week, they had cake batter, dark dream, which is like dark chocolate and chocolate chips in it. They had a strawberry milk, peanut butter, munch, and a pink Cadillac sugar cookie. And those cookies are huge.
Oh,
they're like that.
Huge.
Oh man. Okay. Let's get it, man. This is. I think I'm in a dream. You said one of those.
If you ever want to get
dream,
full eating a cookie.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think cookies, man. I think that's what's trending right now, man. I think cookies are trending,
Well, I mean, there was the cakes, and then they did the like fancy cupcake thing that went through, and now I think it's moved on to cookies.
I think that's where we are. I mean,
the cakes was is this a cake, or why is everything a cake or something like that? That was irritating me. I was tired of seeing random videos of them cutting like notebooks or a keyboard in half, a mouse in half. It's like, calm down, y'all.
Oh my goodness.
You're doing way too much.
Imagine though, you could be at school or at work and just have a secret cake, just be picking away at your notebook. That's actually a cake.
Oh my goodness.
Well, Cole, we brought up our two things that we first want to talk about. What's something you want to talk about? And then we'll get into more of the list.
Ooh, something I want to talk about. How about that airline food,
Oh, there you go.
Airline food? I've never ate on the airplane, like the food from the airplane. But at the airport, that food's pretty good.
That food is pretty good.
I like the airport.
That's the strategy, to get food at the airport and bring it on the plane. It's better. and cheaper.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Because see, that's a niche clientele, because in order to get that food, you have to be in that club of getting on the flight, getting off the flight, waiting for the flight, so you can be in there with the rest of the folks that are in the terminal, and so I guess there was a movie with Tom Hanks, that's called Terminal. But but that is a really cool thing, to be in the airport and getting food, and like you said, you can bring it right on the plane. So I mean, that little snack trail mix bag they give you, and then like, hey, would you like something to drink? And then you like half sleep, and then you try to wake up, oh, apple juice, you know what I'm saying? And
Mine was always ginger ale.
Okay, how many times did that stewardess almost spill that drink either on you or on the person next to you? Like, I've just counted at least 10 times,
But the thing is, you're like super thirsty on the airplane, and you're like, oh, yes, the drinks, finally. You're like, can I get some ginger ale? And they go, yes. Give you like a Dixie cup full of ginger ale. That gives you like a mouthful. It's horrible.
You're like, I'm going to sip on this for the rest of this 8-hour flight.
Oh, man.
But Gentry brought up something good when he mentioned Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is my favorite actor. I love Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
What are your guys' favorite actors?
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, Cole, you actually said it earlier. My favorite actor, Morgan Freeman, is definitely up there and in the list. I also like Leo DiCaprio. He's been in some movies that I have really liked. His performance in Catch Me If You Can. I thought that was phenomenal. Like how he could pretend to work all these jobs, and he was pretending to be like a doctor or something he never even went to. Went to school for that.
I saw that movie for the first time about a month ago.
No way.
Yeah,
it's long. Like that's a movie that you have to be like, all right, let's sit down, watch this, and it's gonna be a long ride.
Yep.
I really like that one, and then also, I like a lot of the movies that came out from the mid 2000s. Another one of my actors that I really like is Josh Hartnett. Now, not a lot of people know him. He hasn't been in a lot of movies. He's done a lot more low-key movies and stuff like that. But yeah, those are a few of the ones that I like. And Morgan Freeman, because he is just phenomenal actor. Like and of course Samuel L. Jackson. I'm sorry, if you see an old school Samuel L. Jackson movie, man, you will really like it. It's like, man. I mean, I like some of the movies he's been in now, of course, MCU stuff, but man, if you see some of his old school, man, they're pretty good.
There are so many actors that I really love. I don't know if I have a favorite actor, kind of like how Gentry was naming off a couple people, but I love how actors can change up their style, even in the same movie. Jonathan Majors, he's a newer person, but he's a great actor.
Yeah.
Kang.
Yeah.
Man, he was good. Yes.
Yeah.
Majors, yeah.
I can't even think of her real name right now. Wanda Maximoff.
Elizabeth Olsen.
Elizabeth Olsen.
Okay, you know who her sisters are, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just make.
She's a better actor than her sisters. I'm just saying, like, when actors, like, you can actually see their emotion in their movies, I love that. And it makes you actually in there. There's some actors that are almost the same in every movie. They always do that little whimper with their lips. It's the same thing. I think Anne Hathaway always has that same little characteristic that, sometimes may irritate you, but when they are able to go from like a drama to an action to something else, I love that.
Yeah,
She was
that that makes me think of
Catwoman
yeah.
and Anne Hathaway.
Makes me think of an actor who I was like doesn't get enough respect. I think is Christian Bale for his like variety of how good he is. Like in the new Thor movie and the Ford v Ferrari and then the Batman movies. Like he's completely different in all those movies. He is a stellar actor who has such a wide range.
And he's one that almost takes it to another level because he'll like gain a bunch of weight, then lose a bunch of weight for another movie, and he goes in.
Yeah,
and I love his acting. Chris Hemsworth has gotten much better at acting. You know, in his beginning ones, it was kind of all the same, and now even just in the Thor movie, you could see him actually making that effort to do better.
See, and like you said, oh man, what the one what like you said, the range. Christian Bale. I wanted to go back to that. Now he was in this movie, old school, called The Prestige, and this was a really good movie because he had to play, himself. I don't want to give it away, but it was so good because he was a twin, pretty much. The way they did this movie was, he kind of had to play two versions of himself within the movie, and the way it was written. And that's the thing, like some people have a range where even though the director is writing it a certain way, they can still pick up on, what they're going to do. And that's what I like too, is when certain directors work with the same actors in like two different movies, because then you can compare and contrast, what they did in this movie to the other movie. And so I also really like that as well.
Yeah. There was a movie that we saw together, G. Oh, was it together? Or we had talked about it. It was Gemini Man, Will Smith.
Oh, no, we didn't see that one together, but we were talking about it.
Yeah, we talked about it. But how he played an older version of himself and a younger version of himself.
A younger version.
That was actually really cool because, you don't really see the older and younger version. And he did really good at that.
See, that was really good because, like you said, there was a younger version of himself that was loose, young, agile, had all the skills, all the talents that he had, with none of the aging, with none of the back problems. But the older version had the experience, the willingness to succeed, of things of expertise learned over time. And so it was kind of like, age. And
you can also tell that in his speech patterns.
Yes.
In his speech patterns. And that's what I love about actors is when they get right into the little nuances, it could be a beautiful thing.
Yes. Man, that was so good.
When they actually earn the big multi-million-dollar paychecks they get, just showing up, talking like themselves, and call it a day.
Yeah. I mean, but there's some people, I feel, that go too far and still don't capture it.
Yeah.
One person that comes to mind is Jared Leto.
Yes.
Jared Leto.
Just about to say it. Nope.
I've not seen a movie that he's been in that I've enjoyed.
Okay, so he was in that Morbius movie, and that so they planned.
I didn't even see Morbius.
I did not even see Morbius. They planned a universe around Morbius. It's like, wait a minute. Okay, with Jared Leto, and so it's like Jared Leto, man, he finally found the role for him. He finally found his golf swing is with Morbius. He's got his golf swing out here now, and we're gonna build a universe around this Morbius movie with Jared Leto. And they said, I didn't see it, but they said it was one of the worst endings to a movie ever. It was like, it couldn't have been worse. Like, oh man, that was bad. Come on, Sony. Be real about this.
You ever say something, G?
Okay, so what I was gonna say, I was waiting for this. I wanted to ask you guys, okay, what would you say your biggest cliches in a movie that you look forward to? I was thinking about this today. Like, what is your biggest disappointing movie that you have seen, like in the last decade? Like your biggest disappointment. You're like, did they really put that in there? Like, and then you're just sitting there like, okay, he could have saw that right there. He could have. What is this going on here? It's like, oh man.
I don't know. I am a person that tends to delete those moments. And I have to do that just for my own sanity.
Okay. All right.
But it was probably something on Netflix I saw.
Okay, that's exactly what they said. Some of those Netflix movies I shouldn't. I like some of Netflix movies. I like the one with The Rock and Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot.
Red Note.
Red Note, yeah, that was fun. I had fun.
What's it not?
Because see, Ryan Reynolds and The Rock, both being in the same movie together, and then you got Gal Gadot, the mysterious, femme fatale in there. And then, well, that's what made it so funny. It's like, okay, these guys are in a prison trying to break out of a prison. It's like, okay, that's pretty tough, and with their ways, they found a way to get out of there, and so I thought that was fun. But there was some serious cliches in that movie that I was like, all right, really?
It's true.
Come on now. I liked it. Don't get me wrong. But it's like, really? All right, come on. Okay.
I feel like with the any movie that has like a competition or something like that in it, you always know they're going to get like in the last. Of course, they gotta be like in the final dance or final singing part, whatever. But they always are announced the third, right? They're never announced like in the first scene or second scene. No, they just barely got in.
Yeah,
that's a cliche that I am done with. I'm done with that cliche 100%.
That's what I liked about the Ford v Ferrari movie, right? You get so attached to these characters and you're like, yes, they have to win the race. They did it. They finally won. And you're rooting for the characters. And he ends up getting robbed and getting second place. And it's not a happy ending to the movie. That's what it goes against everything that your brain is trained to think. It's like, no, it's not a happy ending. So that's about it.
That's why Infinity War was one of the best Marvel movies.
Yeah.
What happened?
I tell you, I finally found that movie. I finally got it. I finally found that movie. It took a while, but I finally got it. I finally found it.
Finally found what?
The DVD to Infinity War.
Okay.
Yeah, it took a while, but I finally found one.
Which it blew my mind in the theater at the end of that movie. People were like booing and like going crazy. I'm like, what?
I was cheering.
Crazy. It was so good.
I was like, greatest movie known.
Yep.
See, and that's the thing. Like Infinity War was when people were kind of saying, Marvel, well, they're tight. See, they did that Avengers movie, that first Avengers. No one could believe they put that team together. Nobody could believe it, and they were on the ship. The first scene that we see, that trailer after Captain America 1, and they were on the ship. Everybody was on the ship. Everyone was on the ship. Oh snap! But when they came out with that movie, Infinity War, people they weren't asleep, but they weren't expecting that. They just said, okay, here comes MCU. They're gonna fight somebody type. Maybe Thanos will come out, and they gave him the whole movie. Like that was crazy. He was the star of the movie. Okay,
and you knew in the beginning he was going to be. Just when the opening part was like, we need help. Like, we need help. What's going on? That was not a real opening like of any other Marvel movie or anything else you normally see. You don't see where the bad guy is sitting there being up, literally the strongest person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like he gave him combos, like he was playing with a little kid, just messing with him.
See, and okay, that was kind of the other thing I was going to ask you guys about is that okay, future phases of MCU. Okay, current phase, we talked about this a little bit last time, but you know, in this phase that we're in, I really liked Shang-Chi. Okay, Shang-Chi was a movie that no one expected to do any business. It was not going to do any business. There were not any major actors in it. There were no big stars in it. There were no American stars in it. There were no other MCU characters connecting with the connective tissue, you know? And so this movie's coming out here, and I go on YouTube, and I hear all this buzz at the premiere, people going crazy, saying how much action is in this movie. They're saying it's the greatest origin story since Iron Man 1. And I'm like, hold it. Wait just a minute now. You're saying it's that good? I don't know. That's the thing. MCU trailers does not reveal anything a lot of times, or it's misleading. See, there was a scene.
I do agree with the misleading. Yeah. You're right.
There was a scene in Infinity War that showed Hulk running in Wakanda in the trailer, and he was not even in that scene. He wasn't even there.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I think they do that more for the actors because you know the actor that plays Hulk, he tells spoilers all the time. He does. So
That's
I mean,
true.
you know, I think they did that more just like throw him off the trail. They filmed him doing a bunch of different things, so you didn't really know which one was true. But go back to your point about Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be a good movie as soon as I heard Water was in it. You know who Water is? Aquafina.
Yep.
As soon as I knew she was in it, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a great movie.
Oh, man, that's good. You said Water.
Water.
Okay. So, okay. So that's what I was going to say. Okay. So, you know, when you get a movie, right? You know, and some of them, okay, so like, you know, we got like Green Hornet, okay, you know what I'm saying? The original Green Hornet was really good. You know, you got like Jet Li was in there, you know, it came out in the 60s. I'm sorry, I said Jet Li. I mean, Bruce Lee. Yeah, Jet Li was in there. No, Bruce Lee was in there. He was Kato, you know what I'm saying? So this is like the best perfume that you get at like Kohl's, JC Penney's. It's in the glass. You know what I'm saying? You got to go to the sales associate. Hey, can you unlock that? Hey, man, I want to try that. Hey, man, I want to buy that. Okay, this is like the best perfume you can buy. That Green Hornet movie we got, 10 years ago, that was like the perfume you buy from the dude who's selling it out of his trunk, you know, and you don't even want it. And he's spraying it on you, and you like, man, I don't even want this. That's what kind of superhero movie that was. Okay, so we got to look at this Shang-Chi joint. This was a movie that came out, and it was a good smell. It was great. You know what I'm saying? It was really good. And the story was so powerful between his dad and how his dad, he thought that somehow he could maybe save his wife, you know, the mother of his children. He really believed that. But, you know, there was so much action. But like some people, they didn't like it, but that's all right. You know, it's not for everybody. But I liked it coming from a background of seeing like high flying stunts, action and stuff. But like some of the people said like Aquafina, Okay, as soon as yeah, like you said, as soon as you heard that she was in it, I didn't have any background of Aquafina before this, and so she was in there busting jokes and stuff. Man, that was pretty funny. She has a pretty good joke.
Yeah. So Cole, who's your or what Phase 4 movie was your favorite then
Ooh,
so far?
Phase 4 movie. I have to remember. My head is like all these new shows and stuff. It's like overwhelmed. Hold on.
It is. It's a
Yeah.
little overwhelming to figure out like where everything is.
Okay, so
Okay,
movie or like
here-
series?
Hey, let's name off.
If we-
name off some of the stuff. Yeah.
So the Phase 4, I'll put the series in there too, even
Yeah.
though. Yeah, I'm gonna put the series in there just because the series after Phase 3 pretty much is making Phase 4, right? So we had WandaVision.
Oh yeah.
We
Yep.
had the Falcon and Winter Soldier, or Captain America, Winter Soldier, the next one. Black Widow, Loki.
Okay, right there.
Morbius was in there, which I don't count as in there. Venom, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man 3, Doctor Strange, Multiverse, Thor: Love and Thunder,
Oh, man.
Black Panther. Next one's going to be coming in there, which we haven't seen, and Captain Marvel, which we haven't seen yet either.
So I'll probably
Oh,
say
and Hawkeye. Sorry.
out of the movie.
Hawkeye. That was the other one. Hawkeye and She-Hulk
And
Moon
She-Hulk.
Knight.
And Moon Knight.
And What If too.
And What Ifs, yeah.
Yeah. What If?
I mean, pretty much Miss Marvel. I know I'm missing something else. What else am I missing?
Well, the rest haven't come out yet. There's
Okay.
a lot on there, and that's just Phase 4. That's insane.
So I'd say probably my favorite so far of like the movies. It's like between the Spider-Man and Shang-Chi. Those two.
Yeah.
It's between those two. Those were both
Yeah.
really solid. Probably got to give it to Spider-Man just because all the
Yeah.
cameos and like that was like my childhood. So it was great. But then the series wise, I mean, it has to go to Loki. That series
Oh,
was
yeah.
so good.
Man,
Oh man, that was awesome.
for a series, it's so hard to choose. It is so
that
hard
was
to
so
choose.
good. That was so
Because, we started with WandaVision.
Mhm.
good. Oh, that was man.
And to me,
That was
that
so
set
good.
the mood for what they were going to be doing.
Okay. But that was their first attempt, okay? And it was 10 episodes long. So you gotta give that up that a 10 episode, even if they're only 30-minute episodes, is gonna do better than a 6-episode limited series
Mhm.
for 35, 40 minutes. To me. And the same thing went with I'll stop. I'll leave it at that.
For me with WandaVision though, it was or most of these series actually, it's not your normal Marvel stage, right?
Okay.
It's normally your beginning is like, they kind of introduce the bad guy and then a big fight at the end, which is kind of what they do with the series too, because you got to introduce the characters. But with WandaVision, you already knew who Wanda was. You already knew who Vision was. Now it's setting up like the next story and trying to figure out like, well, how did this happen? How did that happen? Same with Loki. Loki is like, well, technically he's dead, but it's like, because he went back in time and we saw exactly when he grabbed the Tesseract and how that branched off.
And we knew that had implications. When we saw him grab that Tesseract, we knew that had implications. That there was going to be something else that was going to spin off of that. And again, low key, I was telling everybody, hey man, when you get Disney Plus, that's going to be the show that you get it for. It's going to be Loki. So get ready. This is going to be the show for you. And you try to convince me, Maurice, to watch this show, and I was not on board. I was not there, and now it's one of my favorites. It is probably my favorite show, and they put my boy John Majors in it. Yes, it was so good.
It was so good.
And here's the thing, like low key, that's another show that some of the Disney Plus shows, 6 and done, 6 and out. All right, get out of here. Next. It's just like you're on the basketball court. All right, 7-0 scrub. Next. Okay, next team, get on here. But this thing has implications. Okay, this show is gonna be imperative to where the future of the MCU is going. This show is going to be in that. It's going to be Loki. And
now Loki 2 is coming out before
season 2.
No, it's going to be after the Quantum Man, where we'll see Jonathan Majors again as Kang.
See, it's already coming together. You know what I'm saying? They had the different Lokis in there. They had a different, man, it's going to be good. I'm telling you, this thing is going to spin out of control pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Because I just want to say this real quick. DC's version of multiverse and universes is different than Marvel's take on multiverse and universes. Okay, I am the expert of DC Crisis on Infinite Earths. I've read all of them. So they started, the first one they did was Crisis on Infinite Earths in 1985. That was the first one they did. They had one event before that, but that was the main one they did. Then they did it again. They did Identity Crisis, then they did Infinite Crisis, then they finally did Final Crisis, and then they did another one after that. And now they're doing Dark Crisis, which is a whole nother situation. But Marvel's take is different. It's a little bit different, so they have it where there's alternate versions of them, of that character, but it's different. It's on a different timeline. So I think it's very interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's more timeline based instead of like alternate reality.
Timeline based. So Flash is the character that alters the DC, universe, multiverse. Wanda is the character that alters the reality, the timeline, or maybe Loki.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Yeah, I feel with DC, I would love to see them do it better than what they just did on the CW, which I didn't see all of it.
Okay,
but I would love to see.
They had the original Robin from the Adam West Robin come in. Come on now.
Did they really?
Yes.
Cole, did you see it?
Mm-mm.
Burt Reynolds. He came out and was like, Great Scott or G. Willikers. He came out and was like, yes, So, I mean, they pulled out people from different shows, from old eras. I mean, they even got, there's Ezra Miller. Okay, double, take a double. Man, here comes trouble. Make it double. He can be. Oh, man.
I don't know. I kept on hearing, because I was going to go back and start watching it. And someone at work is like, Maurice, don't waste your time. I was like, no, I gotta go see it. And like three other people like, Maurice, don't waste your time. Maurice, don't
listen to that.
Don't do it.
Okay, you saved me by not buying that PSP. So I do owe you a save because so Cole, I was gonna buy a PSP. What was it called? The Gold? No, the Vita. The PSP Vita. And it was like $500, and it was a horrible system. But because it was a PlayStation, I wanted to buy it, and it was horrible. It was like a handheld PlayStation that was also a cell phone, but that it only used one cell service. And it was like what?
Yeah, that Vita was garbage. I don't care. Straight garbage.
Oh, snap. And nobody even talks about it anymore. Like, the what? The Vita. Like, damn, is that a vitamin? Like, dude, don't nobody.
the
when the Nintendo
Vita was
Switch,
out. What did you say?
when the Nintendo Switch came out, the first thing I thought of was the PS Vita. I was like, oh, is that what they're trying to do here now?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the Switch is a much better alternative. Oh man.
I'm still trying to get my hands on a PS5. I mean, I haven't been looking super hard.
Isn't that crazy that people still can't get it? And it's been like 2 years and people still can't get it.
Yeah.
You know, the bots, man, that must be oh my goodness. The bots are still buying them. That's amazing.
Yep. Well, and they just redesigned them again.
What?
Oh, is it the second model, second generation now?
No, they're just changing the innards a little bit and messing with things. And I think the price just went up too.
Oh gosh. Well, because it's like okay, if you buy a car, you always want to buy the last model of the that body style. That works good. But it's not that way with video game consoles. You want to get the first model that comes out because that has the best body style. At least that's what I say with PlayStation.
Yeah, with PlayStation, if those first couple units were always the ones that had the backwards capability and could do everything else. So then the later models like, oh well, we took this off, and now it doesn't have a disk drive, and now.
Okay, the PS2. I don't know if you guys remember that all the way back. It was a big thing. You could go online. You could play online with it. You could put your discs in there. You could do more memory on there. You get external hard drive. The PS2 Slim, you couldn't do any of that. You couldn't do any of that stuff. And so definitely PS3 backwards compatibility. You could do that, but not the Slim. It didn't have any of that. PS3 Slim, and so getting that first model was almost crucial to most PlayStation systems.
Yeah. I am a avid Nintendo collector. That's what I call it. I will make sure I get every system. If I gotta work another job for a little bit just to get the next one.
I think we've had every system, like at least I remember, since the GameCube.
Since the GameCube. Okay, that was gonna be my next topic that I wanted to bring up. Was like, did you guys like SNES more or GameCube more? I know that's a tough draw, because I was looking online and I looked up some of my old GameCube games. Mario Strikers. Okay, price is way up. Okay, Mario Sunshine. Price is just astronomical. And don't even get me started. Mario Party 4, if you look on Amazon right now, they got a couple copies left and they're selling for about $400. Let's be real about this.
And then you got what a lot of people say the best Super Smash Brothers, Melee, is on the GameCube.
Melee.
Yep.
I played that game way too much. I mean, we played it way too much. Like, I could do combos. Like, it's not even that kind of a game, and I'm doing like combos. Like,
That's what we should have on the fourth box. Is us playing Smash all together. As we're talking. That will really make our the podcast I'm not really paying attention, or sorry, I wasn't paying attention, and make it real. Like, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Okay, what would be tight? What they should do is have a Melee and make it somehow that they could do it online. Like, you could hook up your GameCube to the internet and play Melee online. That would steal everything. That would be the best.
Nintendo shut that down, didn't they?
I think there's still one. There's still a way.
Is there still one called?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can do GameCube online.
Yeah. If you still have your physical copy, you can run it on computer and play online with people.
What? Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be tight. Guess I'm gonna have to watch a YouTube video on that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have my physical copy anymore. I actually gave it to somebody. Because I had it for so many years. I had the disc and the case, but not the manual. And I kept it for like years. I got it at the pawn shop and just held on to it for so long and just eventually had to let it go. But I had some of those really good games, like F-Zero. I had Smash Brothers. I even had like Zelda Twilight Princess. That was like just an awesome game. But some of those are just so expensive now. It's insane. Like, it was fun to have had it, but like I don't depend on it to like some of the games that I have now on GameCube. Like I was just like, I cannot let it go. I did a Craigslist deal and got an almost mint copy of Wario World on GameCube. And I mean, these games were sitting in this guy's storage garage of his apartment for like 6 years. He was like, man, these games are my brothers. He had the GameCube, and like, man, this is all we had left was these 4 games. I was like, dude, these are they're in mint condition. And I was just like, man, I can't let these go. The cube,
It had the best controllers too. Like I think those GameCube controllers were solid. They were like super hard to break. The button placement, everything is just like so nice about them.
It was
great.
Yeah, 100%. And that's why, you're asking about SNES versus GameCube. I'll have to go GameCube.
Okay, even man.
There's some games on SNES that I still love to this day. Mario RPG will still be my game. I'm waiting for like a brand new one to come out. I know it's never going to happen.
Paper Mario.
No, Paper Mario was not Mario RPG. I don't care what anyone says. It is not the same.
Okay. But okay, SNES, okay, some of the games on there are just like the best of the best. Okay. If you don't count some of the the games that were on Sega also, I mean, Turtles, was it Turtles in Time? Absolutely one of the best Super Turtles games, Super Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You had,
You can get that on Switch now, though.
Oh, do they have it on Switch?
It's on Switch now.
That's insane. That's absolutely insane.
On their, I want to say, Cowabunga collection.
Oh, I did see that. That has almost everything. It has almost everything. And that's what's crazy is you could buy that game, that Cowabunga collection, and it would be cheaper than if you bought the actual Super Nintendo or the Sega game. It'd be more expensive to get that than the whole collection.
Yeah.
Super Mario 3? That's on SNES, right?
Yeah.
Is that on SNES? Or is it Yoshi's World?
Yoshi's World is also on SNES.
Oh, I thought 3 was on NES. Or maybe it's Super.
I know. You're thinking Mario Brothers 3.
Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Super Mario Brothers 3 is on SNES.
You know what? We might be thinking of the same one, but they did like a collection on SNES. That was the Mario All-Stars, where they had multiple games on there.
Because, there's even Mario Kart is on SNES. That's where it started. And of course, Metroid Prime, Super Metroid Prime, and you got some Zelda games. Oh, man. I mean, I could go all day talking about SNES. And, I mean, Mega Man. Okay, come on. Let's be real about this.
Mega Man X.
Mega Man X. X8? The X series was like revitalized on there. What was it? Mega Man 8? Was it 8 on there? That was just the bomb. Because I have a ported version of Mega Man 8 that was on SNES, that's on PlayStation. And it's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's got anime cutscenes, and it looks great. It looks amazing.
What was the one for must have been 64? Mega Man Legends.
Oh, okay. No, that was a PlayStation game.
Was that? Yeah,
That
you're
was
right.
exclusive
You're right.
PlayStation. So that was the other thing I was going to ask you guys. Like, would you rather have the PlayStation or would you rather have the 64? I mean, I think there's some phenomenal games on both because I mean, Mega Man Legends. Okay, that game is like a $70 game right now, probably more. You know, if you can find it, they'll sell it to you for $70. You know, it's insane.
What you got, Cole?
Probably SNES because I know more of the games on it because that's kind of what I grew up playing. I played a lot of the Nintendo consoles and all those games. I didn't play. I had a PS2 growing up, and that's
See, everyone had
stopped.
the PS2. Everybody had the PS2. That's what's crazy. Jack and Daxter.
I was thinking Street 2 or Street 1 and Street 2.
Now that's why you bought your PlayStation 2 was to get that game. Stretch. Stretch coming out there with the Afro Dr. J type style, coming in there lanky type dude.
And then you had the short dude that could dunk, Bonafide.
Oh, Bonafide. Yes. Okay, Streets 2. Okay, you had 3 Jordans on there. You had the young Jordan, you had the 96 Jordan, and then you had the Wizards Jordan. Okay, you got 3 Jordans on there, and then you had a dunk called the Jordan. Okay, and then you had all the old school ballers. So you had Pistol Pete, you had Jerry West, you had Larry Bird, you had Magic Johnson.
Yes, Bud.
And then you had like all the stars from like the mid 2000s. So then you had AI, you had Marbury, you had Garnett. You had what's his name? Steve Nash. Steve Nash up in there crossing, dropping dimes. Bro, that game at that time was one of the best NBA games that had come out since NBA Jam. You see what I'm saying?
You know what I loved about Street though?
What's that?
Is it was so over the top, but when they decided to do something with Nintendo, because they're like, oh, we gotta get this on Nintendo, we gotta get them on it. How can we do that? Let's get Mario characters on Street. It was the funniest stuff I've ever seen. Like any Mario crossover with any of those random things. You know, Street, you had Mario on Dance Dance Revolution.
Yes,
you
remember that too, Mario. See, that was the thing that killed me was I think I still have Mario DDR on the GameCube. Is like it was not as hard as the Bowser stage was really hard.
The Bowser stage was hard.
That was hard. Man, that was really hard.
Hey, if I could get that with a dance pad, I would start playing it.
I have it with the dance pad. We can play it.
You have it?
Yeah, I have it. I think I gotta dig around here, but it's here somewhere.
Cole, we're meeting at Gentry's house in a couple minutes.
There you go.
Good.
I didn't know y'all played it. I didn't know y'all even played it. I was like, oh, we could have been doing this weeks ago. We was playing.
You might have to bring it over here, actually, G.
Oh yeah.
We had two of the pads, and we'll play that Dance Dance Revolution all the time. We played so much we broke the pads. That's how much we played.
See, the cord started. I kept it in my car, so the cord started to rust, and I was like, "Wait a minute! I had to get some WD-40," and it still works. It still works, man.
Man, I'm actually looking forward to playing the DDR Mario.
See, do you remember the one they had on? It was either Xbox or PS2, and it was called Supernova. So it was a Dance Dance Revolution Supernova, and like, okay, then,
I think I played at your house.
But see, I never had it though. I never had that particular one. Then they came out with the one on the Wii, so where you had to do the dance moves and do the, the hand gestures at the same time. See, now that's when it got really hard.
See, that's getting into the other one now, Just Dance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Just Dance, and then they came Just Dance after. Now that was a hit, Just Dance.
Yeah. Now, I see a couple things on our list that you want to talk about, G.
Yeah.
I see something about Nashville hot chicken
Yeah.
and
Okay.
chicken and waffles.
Yeah. So now which would you rather have? So there's a combo that has Nashville hot chicken and sweet potato pancakes. Or would you rather play it safe with chicken and waffles? Because I mean, both of those sound pretty good, you know. And that's another one it's getting more and more popular each week, you know.
I'll let Cole answer first what he wants.
Well, for me, if I'm just trying it, I would try the Nashville hot chicken just to try it because it sounds good.
That sounds
It could be good. Well, if I'm picking one to eat for the rest of my life, I'd pick
Yeah.
chicken and waffles because it's just a classic.
Well,
it's a staple.
Mhm.
My question is, why can't I do the Nashville hot chicken and waffles? That's what I want.
That sounds
Let me-
incredible.
Let me switch the two.
That's not the menu item. That's that's a trick. That's a trick.
Look, no, because if you say chicken and waffles, well, what kind of chicken you want? Let me get the Nashville hot chicken.
Yeah, I bet if you asked, they would swap it.
Yeah, that's not legal. You can't. It's not
No,
legal.
that's
move.
absolutely legal. That's
Foul.
100%.
They carded you on that one, man. They said no red card. Soccer.
Now, I've had at least over here this version of Nashville hot chicken. It was towards Eden Prairie. It was pretty good. It was one of the hot chickens that, kind of like when we go to D Spot. If you're, you guys been out to D Spot.
Okay, D Spot. Cole, wait, Cole, have you been? Okay, so
I've heard
Cole, I have failed you.
Okay, next you
I
have
have
failed.
failed you, Cole.
You have failed our brother right now because this place has. Okay, Maurice, explain the varieties.
They have every kind of randomness known to man. They got some hot chicken. There's like mustard on it with different things. They got these three hot ones though. Like
Dragon breath.
you have to order these three hot ones before
Sweet
you
chili.
get the hottest one. And
They-
they have like a card and everything that they do, and then you have to order two of them like a day ahead of time so they can prepare it off site because it's so hot that the kitchen would have to shut down.
And you can eat this?
I went one time with my nephew. He ordered it, and I took a bite of one of the hot wings, and I was angry. And I love hot food. I said, "This is stupid. Why would you ever do this?" And I put the hot wing down, and I almost walked out of there. But it was delicious. But it was stupid. I don't know if that makes sense at all, but yeah.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense. But Cole, me and you've had some hot stuff.
Oh yeah, we've done our fair share.
45 different flavors of wings. And there's burgers. They have a burger called the Red Baron that if you try to say, hey, let me get ketchup, mayo, cheese, onions, lettuce. No. Only the burger. That's all you get. It's just it will be an insult to the chef if you put anything else on this burger. And they said no, just the burger. And the fries that go with it. Just the best fries dipped in the beautiful spicy mayo. It's just amazing. Like anything you order in there is gonna be good.
So what
The
are we
only
doing?
thing I've ordered that wasn't good though Was they got some dessert wings? I don't mess with
Oh,
dessert.
dessert. I think I remember those too. See,
The
we
only,
would get, yeah,
the
we would
only
get all the
dessert wing
variety.
I mess with. I'm sorry. The only dessert wing I mess with there is the Snickers. It's
Oh,
super weird because it's Snickers on
it's
chicken
Snickers
wings,
on a
but it's
chicken
good.
wing. Let's go. It's on a chicken wing.
I need to go. We need to go, Maurice.
Yeah, but it's,
Yep.
it's yeah, yeah. This place is amazing.
It is.
Yeah. See, we should get them as our sponsor, man. We're like promoting these places. They need to be sponsoring our channel. We're helping them out.
We can do the podcast Hot Ones style.
Podcast Hot Ones
Oh,
stuff.
oh,
Hey, don't
man.
tempt me. I would love to do that. I would love to do that. That's what we're doing next time. Right
Oh,
here. We
yes.
gotta get sponsored though, so
Yes.
I'm pretty sure they're not going to do it for one listener, but you know we can do it. We got this. Now I saw something else on our list.
Yes.
The difference between dad jokes and puns.
Okay. That was my next one I was gonna come at. So what do you guys prefer? Do you like the dad jokes more or the puns more?
About equal. It depends. Sometimes I like a good pun, you know, when it catches me off guard, you know. Like I feel like a pun shouldn't be forced. Like it has to come naturally. But a dad joke, you can be like, hey, listen to this joke, you know. I don't know.
Yes.
And I think a dad joke, it happens like randomly, instantly.
Yep.
And I feel like sometimes that's a little harder to do actually.
Mm-hmm.
To have one ready at any time.
Well, that's kind of what I think. I think some people just naturally have them. Either if it's a pun or a dad joke, they just have like a few of them in their repertoire. You know, so like I heard this Taco Bell commercial on Pandora. I don't know if you guys have already heard this one. If you haven't, okay, I can say it. So it's his dad and his son, and he's like, "Hey, let me get a bite of that," you know, and he's like, "Oh no, you know, you're pretty cheesy already. You don't need any more of this cheese. You're already cheesy." And so he's like, "Oh, you know, you're a dad. You know, you got a bunch of dad jokes or something like that. I'm throwing them back at you." And he's like, "Oh, I store all my dad jokes in my database." You know, like, oh, come on. I'm like, oh. And so it gets worse. You know, it gets worse in this, you know, this Pandora commercial, you know, internet video commercial. And so then he goes, he's like, "Man, stop playing, man. I'm pretty hungry." He's like, I'm hungry. And he's like, "No, you're Dave. And Hungary is a country." And I'm like, oh, come on, get him. He's foul him out. He's fouled out. Get him out of here. You know, and so some of those, the dad jokes again are trending. Dad jokes were horrible. Like it was what they used in like progressive commercials to like make fun of people. And now that's like the popular thing now. You know, it's like, what?
I love dad jokes.
Dad jokes.
Absolutely love them.
Now,
I don't know if you guys can hear my cat running around in the background.
Oh.
I don't know what she's chewing on now.
The crazy one?
Yes.
You're welcome for that.
Yeah. Thank you.
What kind of cat do you guys have?
This is a tabby cat, but it's a kitten. And
Ooh.
she's on drugs, I think. I don't know what else to think.
Cats don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs.
Everyone out there, tell your cats not to do drugs.
You don't want to see them with a bag of catnip on them or something.
Oh man.
All I believe we're just about done. We've been going for about 30 minutes already. Not 30 minutes, an hour already.
Hour and a
That's how
half.
tired I am. But this has been sorry I wasn't paying attention. Of course, we weren't paying attention to what we were talking about.
What was
Does
that?
anyone know what the first subject we talked about tonight was?
Sorry, wasn't paying attention.
Well, there you have it. You all have a good night. I'll let Gino Luke do his spiel.
Okay, true believers. If you still believe, make sure you tune in next time too. Sorry. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. See ya.